Alrighty, I believe we are live. Nice. Okay, let me get the stream up onto social media, and then we'll get going. Hope that everybody's having a good day. Let me see here. There's the link. Okay. And now let's get that onto Minds and then the Discord servers. How is everybody doing today? If anybody is in yet. Okay. So, we got the link on Discord. Let me just get, not Discord, Minds. Now we'll get the links to the servers, then we'll get going. So today we are just going to explore the other outcomes of the one path that I chose. And this is going to be, once we explore all those options, this will be my last Tokyo Dark live stream for a while. But we will return to look at other paths sometime in the future, but I would like to move on to a new game after this. So anyways, let me see here. There we are. Okay. Alrighty. And like I said, forgive me, just getting these links out. For those of you who might be strolling in, how you doing? Hope the day is treating you well. And I believe this is the last one. Yep, alrighty. Here we go. Alright, now let me pull up the chat and then we can begin. Why, hello, Mr. Tomboy Enthusiast. Hope you are doing well. How are you today, sir? Alrighty. And I will have a little drink to my side while we're doing this. Poured myself a little bit of Russian Standard, some vodka from St. Petersburg, and I'm not a big vodka drinker, but I do love me some of this vodka. But we'll just be sipping it. I do not have a lot. Alrighty, let's get going. Glad to be off work. I can understand that. You're a whiskey guy? Yeah, I'm more of a whiskey guy too. And I actually hate vodka for the most part, but this stuff's good. And actually, I do have. I don't drink nearly as much as I used to. Even though I enjoy drinking, I just just try to keep an eye on it, and also just try to not make it a habit. But I've got a bottle of my favorite whiskey sitting in the cupboard right now, and I have yet to open it, and that's Writer's Tears, and that's some really good stuff. Jack Daniels, yeah, I don't like most bourbon whiskeys. A lot of bourbon whiskeys make me sick. And I don't mean like, I'm not talking about the taste or whatever. I mean, just for some reason, like, I will like, my stomach will start hurting and I'll feel ill after, like, a tumbler of Jack. Now, if I mix Jack with something, then it's a little better. But, like, just bourbon whiskeys, they just make me feel, ill. I don't like it. Okay. Now, so, like I said, we're going to explore all these other options from this path, and then we'll see what else goes down. So, let's get going. Okay. Let's move. Hello, Dragon. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing today, fine sir? I see we got 4 people watching. Nice. You take liquor neat mostly? To me it depends. Like I got something like a preference for each drink, you know? Like, the Writer's Tear is my favorite whiskey. I like to have that straight up. This vodka that I'm drinking, I like to have straight up. And then there's things like if I were to have like a flavored rum, I like to mix that with something, like whether it's cola or juice or whatever. Jameson I have on the rocks. Then sometimes I'll mix it with a cola. It just all depends on the specific drink. Trying to figure out what to do for a Marvel Multiverse character. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, Dragon. Is it like a fanfic or something? Yeah, I'll get her running, get this going. So as you guys remember last time, when I did this, when I got to this point, we decided to, excuse me, we decided to not Reina, and we met Kazuki on the other side, and we brought him back, and unfortunately he turned into a vegetable, and then we had the opportunity to bring Kazuki back, but in doing that, he would eventually die, and bring him back mentally, I mean. And Ayami, when she was dreading the coming of the next day, it turned out that the entities that are kind of observers and run reality, one of them kind of put a pause on that time, and so the end of the day never came. So Ayami and Kazuki got to live together, happy with one another in that eternity, but they were just confined to that one location and room space. So I guess you could say it's bittersweet, but I guess it would depend on your perspective. Like, to me, it's a little horrifying at the same time, but it's also not the worst fate that they could have endured. So let's see what other endings we can come across here. You mix whiskey sometimes, but only when hanging out with your friends who likes it that way. Okay. Marvel's new tabletop. Oh, okay. Our tabletop RPG. Nice. Okay. As I trudged through the oppressive, lonely place, I slowly became aware of someone else. The dark woke up and began to shudder as if it racked with quiet sobs, and I felt a numbing sadness spread through my body. The sensation I felt at that place was familiar, and I knew why right away. Raina. She sat there like a lost little girl, like she'd been there for a long time and didn't know where to go. There was no fight in her body, no way for her to lash out. In that place, we were equals. She rose to her feet when she saw me, her gaze looking confused and desperate. She was the start of it all, everything I'd gone through. I'd put an end to it, one way or another. All right. So the way that I'm going to do this is, I'm going to confront Raina again, and I'm going to leave her behind again. I'm going to explore all the options by going in to find Kazuki first, and then we'll cycle back each time, and we'll try to, and we'll go about these other branches. So you went away, huh? Even though I told you to leave me alone. Why couldn't you just forget and leave me alone? Ah, so that's it. You want to keep hurting me, right? I hate to burst your bubble, but if it's revenge you're after, it won't work. Nope. Can't blow my brains out down here. The dark won't let you. Aw, did I hurt your feelings? Did you bring your little gun all the way down here for nothing? Are you disappointed? No, there's no point in bringing a gun to a place like this. It wouldn't solve anything. It didn't last time. Bet you thought you got rid of me like the last time, huh? Too bad. We'll have to talk like old friends instead. After everything I tried, to think that you would be the one to show up here in the end. Funny, isn't it? Isn't it? After all, you were only supposed to be a guest star in my little show, a temporary addition to liven things up a bit. Then you kept showing up uninvited, digging up every sharp thing you could find to poke me with. Now I can't get rid of you. See? It is funny, right? No matter what we do, we're forced together again. We gotta make the best of it. You're right. We can't avoid each other forever. Fate's forced us together, so all we can do is see it through to the end. Even when I saw you in the forest, you were down here, weren't you? Where else? Welcome to the end of the line. I don't understand it. It's awful down here. Why don't you try and get back to the surface? Why would I go back? What would be the point? When I do, I look around and don't recognize it anymore. The streets are different. The sounds have changed. Everyone I knew and ever cared about is gone. You didn't know about what... I'm sorry. You don't know what it's like. Every day the same, and feeling all my old pain again and again and again. People don't change. No matter what, no matter how much time goes by, they'll look at me like I'm a flea-bitten dog to be kicked around and ignored. They hate me. In the end, I'll end up back here anyway, so I fight it. At least down here, nothing changes. When I was little, they said everything would be okay if I had the mask. But then Mommy died, and the police took it away from me, and nothing's gone right since. No one ever cared about me. The police, the foster homes, the other girls in the agency. They all hated me. They wanted me dead. You're just like the rest of them. Only someday you'll grow old and die, and I'll still be here. Unless you give me that mask. It isn't that simple. Having the mask isn't going to solve your problems. It is that simple. Everyone always tells me it can't be simple. But why not? None of this would have happened if it weren't for you. If you'd just given it to me in the first place, you could have lived your stupid little fantasy life. Instead, you had to be a hero and get involved in something that was none of your business. Why shouldn't I use it? Are my problems not as important as yours? That's it, isn't it? Everything is about you and making your life happy again. I won't let you be happy. I won't. If you won't help me, then fine. But I'll keep hurting you. And if you think it's bad now, you don't know the half of it. Oh, you could give it to me and go on pretending to be happy while I find the door again. Again? You've seen it before? I don't know exactly what you think is going to happen when you find it, but everything I've found tells me it's dangerous. No, you're wrong. The door isn't for you. The collector said so. He said if I had the mask, I could find it again. He said if I found a shrine belonging to a Kwana, that I could find it. So you met him too. Reina, he wasn't trying to help us. He must have been toying with us. Shut up! You don't know anything. He told me the mask would let me see the door again. Just like the day Mommy died. They put the mask on me, and I kept my eyes closed like Mommy told me to, even when people started getting sick and crying. Then I saw it, the door. Even with my eyes still closed, when I looked at it, I heard Mommy's voice, and I knew I found it. If I found it, everything would be okay. I opened my eyes, and it was gone. They took the mask. I saw Mommy on the ground. She wasn't moving anymore, like a doll. It was all my fault. It must have been. I did something wrong, but she told me if I found the mask, I could make it right again. Now I'm being punished for being a big screw-up, for not being pure like they told me to be. Except people like Higashi. They shouldn't have hurt me. They should have left me alone. I had to punish them. I just wanted to stop them from hurting me. That doesn't make me bad, right? You understand, don't you? The funny thing is that if Tanaka was here, he'd understand. Even after everything you did to him. That's the kind of guy he is. Reina, it's not all your fault. This is beyond you. It always has been. That's why Tanaka was so intent on following you from the start. You weren't just some orphan girl. He somehow saw the darkness that was behind you. If only he had told me, I could have been there for him. Helped him. But, no. You could have helped me, Ayami. He was helping me. He was going to save me. Then why? If he was helping you, why hurt him? I didn't want to hurt Tanaka, but it was the only way to bring him here. The same way I was brought here. I thought I'd figured it out. But my white knight abandoned me. Went somewhere else. It turns out it was just another stupid idea from a stupid girl. What you did to Tanaka was wrong, but you can still make this right. You brought him down with you that night. Where is he? I don't know where he is. Just tell me what happened from the beginning. It's hard to remember. Please try. Nothing's gone the way I thought it would. When I went back to Shinjuku, I remembered how I ended up in the dark. I knew I had to do so Tanaka could be with me. Only the mask wasn't awake. It wasn't loud like in Kamakura. So I made you come into the tunnel in Tanaka so it would wake up. And I slit his throat right before you. Sent me back. When I woke up, Tanaka was next to me. We were together, but the mask was gone. He was alive? He was like me. Or I thought he was. At first, he seemed like me, but then he started wandering around, staring into space and talking to people who weren't there. Poor Tanaka. I think I broke him, Miyami-chan. So he was down here. Tell me where he is. You don't get it, do you? I don't know where he is, and I don't care. Tanaka abandoned me. Even when he was here, he kept mumbling over and over about how he was going to help you. He gave you something, didn't he? That traitor. How else would you be able to keep finding me? He even said he saw the door, but he didn't take me there. I hate him. Why did he leave me? To think Tanaka would help a stupid little girl like me. It was dumb to try to bring him here. The collector said if I find the door with the mask, I just didn't want to be alone. That's all. Now you're here, so I guess the mask is too. I didn't need him after all. He's gone. You're wrong. I can feel him here. He's waiting for me. You can? Maybe he's at the door. Please, take me there. Don't leave me. The mask opened the dark and took me straight to Reina. And now that I'm here, I can feel it, pulsing like a heartbeat. The door. The unknowable place where chance and fate have no importance. That's where Kazuki is. I know now what will happen if I lead her there. She'll get what she truly wants. She'll get to rest and finally be free. No more pain, no more suffering. Maybe that's what Kazuki would have wanted. But if I do that, the dark will change shape again, and any hope of finding him will be lost. He'd be trapped here waiting for me, and I'd never be able to tell him the truth behind everything he suffered for. That's if the Kazuki Tanaka left there is the same man I love. Either way, I have to abandon someone, but it's my responsibility. I have to choose. Okay, so we're going to leave Reina again and save Tanaka, and we'll explore the other options when we go meet him there. And then once we exhaust all those, we'll go the same route again, but we'll forgive Reina and lead her to the door. And then afterwards, then I'll become the mask bearer. Now, the way that I'm going to do this moving forward, though, is I'm not going to keep reading the same dialogue I've already read over and over and over again. So maybe I'll just chat with you guys while I get to the choices again. Okay. So, but before I make the choice, let me look at chat and see what's going on. Nope, we're nothing new. So let's leave Reina and save Tanaka. I don't know if I'm a good person or not. At least if I can find Tanaka, I can do something to help for once. One good thing. What are you saying? I can't save you, Reina. But maybe I can save him. So you leave me here after all? Yeah. I'm sorry, Reina. You can't. Tanaka said he'd help me. He believed me. You have to believe me too. Help me, please. He wanted you to help me. That's why he led you here. Maybe he did. Or maybe he was scared. Like we all are. I couldn't say. Either way, if I don't try and help him, then what was all this for? Why did I suffer like this? Someday, I hope you find your answers. I don't want you to suffer. Really. But Tanaka doesn't have a chance if I don't find him now. Goodbye, Reina. Wait! Ayami! What? I was right about you. I was right. You don't care about me. Ayami? Ayami? Please, don't leave me here. Please. Ugh. Look, I feel bad for you, Reina, but don't feel as bad considering, you were willing to kill Kazuki just to do that. But at the same time, you've probably been driven insane by all this, so maybe, I should consider that. Anyways, I did the only thing there was to do. I walked away from her and didn't look back, although I could feel her eyes on me. The light was affected by her misery, and I knew that leaving her here would deepen the shadows. It was too late to atone for what I did to her, and someday I knew I'd come face to face punishment for it. I truly wanted to help her, but I couldn't ignore Kazuki's presence within the darkness. Kazuki, he's so close. Up and down, shadow and light. There's nothing here to orient myself. All I can do is stumble forward. I can feel the door, but there's something else alongside it. Kazuki. I can't hear him or see him, but he's there, like a memory coming into my mind all on its own. Yet I can't see the door or do anything else in this darkness. What if I'm trapped down here forever, lost like Reina and Kazuki? No, there is a way. The only way to pierce this darkness on my own. But I'm scared to do it. A tool forged in blood, a tool that bent my mind to its breaking point, has become my last chance to move forward. The historian said the mask bearer could see the door. But I'm not the mask bearer. If I wear it, I'll have to accept the consequences. Touching it alone almost drove me mad. What strain would wearing it put on my mind? Or I could turn back and try to find the surface and keep what little of my sanity I have left. The choice is simple. Turn back to the light, or descend deeper into darkness. Now, I would like to know how you could get different options, but at the same time, is it part of the narrative with, you've chosen certain options along the way, so you must pick this one. So anyways. Nice little sip of my drink. And I do not like that mask at all. It doesn't look scary, it just looks creepy. Okay. Let's find the door. Hello. Something's changed. Memories of my childhood, feelings I had, my sense of self. Ripped out of me as I entered, fading. I have to focus, while I'm still me. There's someone else here. Kazuki? Is it you? Stay put. I'll find you. Kazuki? Kazuki? Kazuki! Is that you? Kazuki, say something. You can hear me, right? What if Reina was right? What if he's already gone? Oh, God. Kazuki, please. Who? Ito? Ayami! Ayami! Why are you here? That doesn't matter. All that matters is I heard you, and I'm here now. I can't believe it. Is it really you? What's wrong? I'm sorry. It's strange. I feel light. The memories are coming back. I'm sorry. I need a little time. I think I remember. Ayami, how are you here? You shouldn't be here. No, I probably shouldn't be, but I came for you. The way I got here, I can remember it now. Ayami, she didn't... No, I came here on my own, but I had to leave her in the dark. I'm sorry. It was selfish, but it was the only way to find you. That poor thing. I'm sorry I put you through all that. I must have been hard of you. Ayami, I can't remember clearly. I have to know what happened that night in the sewer. Why were you there? You know why I was there. I was looking for you, but it was a trap, and I fell right into it. Maybe you think I'm a fool, but I was desperate. There she was, a girl I'd shot before. And you, helpless and on your knees. My head was swimming. It was unreal. I heard a gunshot before I woke up in the tunnels. Was it you? I didn't have a choice. What would you have done if she had a knife to my throat? I doubt I could have done better in your shoes. What's wrong? Is it true? Is what true? They went with her willingly? They gave her the mask? Kazuki, I have to know. Did you know what would happen? It's true, but not the way you think. I saw her, a girl surrounded by an impossible darkness, whom I obsessed over before her death. And she was alive somehow, still wanting my help. So I went with her. I thought I'd found truth, real truth, the kind of truth that tells us why we're here. I didn't tell you because I'd convinced myself that it would protect you. Faced with the impossible, I dove straight in without thinking of anyone else or what the consequences would be. Now that we're here in this place, I don't think I have it in me to be angry about that. Maybe I should, but then I'd have to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Over the last few weeks, I've been grasping at straws in a world I didn't understand, didn't even know existed. All because Reina shattered everything I thought I knew. Step by step, I went in after her, trying to figure out how some poor girl could be the focal point of everything that didn't make sense in my life. My mind raced when I saw her alive that night. Suddenly the doors of possibility opened wide, and I saw a world where I no longer had control. I didn't shoot her because I hated her. I shot her because I desperately wanted control back. I wish we could have helped her. I do. But there was always more to it. To
Think of the impossible things we'd have seen, and what must have done to such a young mind. I hope she finds salvation somehow. We didn't solve it, did we? All those formless shapes aren't any more solid now. No, but maybe that wasn't the point. What do you mean? Maybe we're not meant to know that at all. Yet, here we are, trying to change something that can't be changed. The mask in a shape-shifting darkness, they were made by people who wanted control over the unknown. People like us who were confronted with the mystery they had to solve. Fate and chance, life and death, the march of time. Having control over them is an illusion. Standing here with you, I understand that now. Guess that makes us lousy detectives, huh? Were we ever that good to begin with? I got myself kidnapped and you were dumb enough to follow me. Thanks, Ayami. All those mysteries suddenly pale in comparison to the thought of having another day in our drafty apartment. Yeah. It was you who called to me, wasn't it? That night in the sewer? I don't remember. Everything since then is hazy. I wandered aimlessly. I was so tired my body was so heavy. I started hearing other voices and seeing shapes in the darkness. Formless things that felt like people I desperately wanted to see, telling me everything would be alright if I kept moving forward to them. People I haven't seen in a long time. One day I saw my mother. She told me she missed me and that I should keep walking through the door and beyond. Did I ever tell you about my mother? She died when you were 15. She couldn't have been there. Still, I had heard her like I can hear you now. Kazuki, what have we gotten ourselves into? I don't know. But I'm glad we're in it together. We made a hell of a team, didn't we? Following each other into our messes. What I'm trying to say is Kazuki, are you okay? I'm fine. Don't worry about me. How about you? It's nothing serious. That's never happened before. I must be reacting to you. Ayami, thank you for finding me, but you can't stay here. What are you saying? Neither can you. That's why I'm here, right? Thank you for coming for me. It makes me happy to see you. Happier than you know. I love you. Stop talking like that. You can save it for when we're back. Ayami, stop. I'm saying it because I might not have another chance. When I finally arrived at the door, I felt a warmth. Something told me if I kept walking, all the pain and uncertainty I felt would go away. Then why didn't you? Because I was waiting for you. Somehow I knew you were coming for me. I wanted to see you and have one last self-centered moment. Last? No, stop saying that. You're the one who isn't supposed to be here. Can't you see that? It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. Tell me why you can't come back with me. Why I'm sorry. I feel a little dizzy. When I was lost in the dark, every time I moved forward, a piece of me I left in my footsteps. And all I could feel was fear, until I reached the door and everything faded away. Ever since you've arrived, I've remembered who I was, all my happiness and joy, but all my suffering and doubt as well. If I kept walking beyond the door, maybe I'd forget it for good. All those things that make us human can't exist here. If you stay, you'll fade away, Ayami. So many people told me that being with you was a mistake. And I should find some normal girl to settle down with. But the normal girls didn't understand me. They didn't make me better. I chose right. I wouldn't be who I am without you. But you'll be nothing if you stay here. Kazuki, No, there has to be a way. You said it yourself. This place is beyond our control. So you're giving up? After all this suffering, after everything I went through, that's not the man I love. That's this place talking. Ayami, I want nothing more than to go back with you. But I know if I leave, I won't be whole. The longer you stay here, the more it will destroy who you are. You have to turn back. Maybe he's right. Maybe this is the end of the road. I guess Reina was right after all. This place changed you. At least for now I can talk to you, see you again, and tell you that I tried. There isn't much time. I can feel myself being torn apart. Returning to the surface is the only chance I have of saving myself. Okay. So leave him and save yourself, bring him home, or stay together. So we brought him home last time. I think this one will probably have a little bit of action or story, more story to it. So we're going to stay together first. Then I'll speed run through all that. I'm not going to be really reading it. I'll just talk to you guys or just chit chat. And then we'll go to that option. But for now, we're going to do the stay together option. Kazuki, I won't leave you. You have to. You can't take me back, and the only way for you to get back to the surface is to go. And now, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. Ayami, don't be stupid. Stupid? Every day since Reina sent you here, the dark has been seeping into my existence and drawing me towards it. So I followed its pull, and when I did, I heard you call to me. Then everything fell apart. I was kicked off the police force. My friends abandoned me. I couldn't even keep track of what was real. So I chose to run towards the dark and everything I feared most, despite every instinct telling me not to. To find you. Ayami. When I chose to go through the door, I gave up a piece of myself. I feel like the only reason I remember what I am is because you're here with me. And now that I'm standing here, I'm not afraid anymore. Ayami, you have to understand, I haven't been able to talk, to remember myself for a long time. If we stay here, this won't be our reality. We'll both fade to nothing. Everyone has to face death, Kazuki. Before, when you said you wanted to forget the world above, I was hurt, but I think I understand it now. Every day, I lifted my feet and trudged forward, not really knowing why. But now that we're together, I get it. We've suffered enough, Kazuki. I wanted to be with you, so let's forget the world together. You can't expect me to let you throw your life away. I won't let you. Won't let me? Since when have you been able to stop me? This is different. What exactly do you think you're saving me from? my life unraveled, half of our friends think I killed you. The only thing that would be left for me is a mental hospital or prison. No, that's no way to live. My mind's made up. Stubborn as always. Huh? Of course. Wouldn't be me if I wasn't. Can't argue with you there. To be honest, part of me wanted this. It's selfish, I know. But I was scared. Once I'd passed through the door, I didn't want to continue, even though every bone in my body told me to. Fear always held me back. I'm sorry, Ayami, for leading you here, for everything. If that was your idea of leading me, you didn't do a very good job. No, Kazuki, I came here myself, and I don't regret a second of it, even if it didn't turn out like we'd hoped. And as terrible as the last few weeks were, we saw something, part of the mystery that everyone desperately wishes to see. Now, we get to go on to the next step. Whatever that is, together, knowing for certain there's more to it. Guess that makes us some of the lucky ones. You're really not scared? A little. No, that's wrong. I am. A lot. I'm really scared. But I'm not scared of this place. Just of what I don't know. There's still a chance for you to turn back. I wonder what I gave up already by coming down here. Reina, that poor girl. Her mind was broken by trying to reconcile with the world and this one. I can't return only to be lost for the rest of my life. So what now? It's easy, really. We start walking. Here, take my hand. Promise not to let go. I promise. Well, Kazuki, we've really gotten ourselves into the deep end now, huh? Let's find out what happens next. Together. So, we did the only thing there was to do. We walked forward, hand in hand. As the door gets farther away, so do my memories of the world beyond it. Faces and places that I saw so recently feel like a lifetime ago. No one knows what happens next, but at least we're together. Okay. Yeah, so that ended pretty quick by doing that option. So let's speed run. Well, I'm assuming we'll get some commentary from the supernatural entity, and then we'll check out the other option there. Then we'll go about it in a different way. Can I skip this? No, it won't let me skip it. That sucks. Okay. Let's well, now's a good time to just sit and chat. So, alrighty, folks, what you thinking so far? How's your day? And thinking about anything? The game, day, life. Tell me something good. I suppose if I'm gonna start, I did go fishing today, and I caught myself some salmon, and I ended up stopping by another location on my way back home, and I just threw my line in the water again. And I pulled in a pretty big pike today, so I'm
I'm gonna be eating good the next few weeks, because obviously I'm not gonna have it all at once. And I might end up going to. I might go fishing tomorrow again, actually, but we'll see how that goes. Or I might stay behind at my house, clean it up a bit, maybe read a book or something, have some fun. Okay, there we go. Here they are.
Interesting. Most interesting.
You're nothing but a crow, feeding on the carrion that time leaves in its wake.
Forgive me for not being an impartial specter of human suffering. The woman had her own desires. I only gave her a little push.
And what did your push lead to? Oblivion in the darkness with what was left of that poor man.
Ah, but is it not noble? Her desires led her to chase after him. For love or for the truth? Perhaps it was out of some sense of noble obligation. It doesn't matter.
What of those left behind? At what cost was her peace granted? Time is not a single thread, but a complex tapestry, pushed and formed into a picture by the forces of fate and chance. The different threads present a myriad of truths, but all are an aspect of some visage nonetheless.
A myriad. Interesting, interesting. I would have thought one so interested in history would adhere to a single truth.
On the contrary, if history has taught me anything, it is that there is no one truth. The deeper one gazes, the more complex it becomes.
Yes, all are truth. All grant insight into the same puzzle. You're right, my old friend. Time is a spiral. Observe it long enough, and we may yet learn something.
No, she is not your plaything.
It is not your decision.
There is only one way to this can end. Only one way for the world to remain intact and stop the thing that's coming. It must be protected. So what's coming? The role must not... Oh, I'm sorry. The role must be performed.
Stubborn, so stubborn. Allow me to ask you a question.
I believe I know it already. You've asked it before.
Indulge me. I asked her the same thing. If the dancing puppet looks up and sees its strings, does it remain a puppet? What of fate and chance then?
I answer your riddle with one of my own. You see the storm clouds approaching, and although you can take shelter or alter your course, does the storm not come regardless?
No fun. You've never tolerated my philosophical side.
Nor you me when I tell you how things are.
I suppose that's because we are one and the same. But what of her?
All we can do is watch, but eventually she will end up there. There is only one path which will hold the world together. All right. So, there's another ending. Let us go back. Okay. Go to Broken Memories again. And let's load here. Yeah, that... Oh, wait a second. Something happened with my thing. Make sure it's stream's still working. Yep, we're still working. That all? No. That was one of the endings. Now we'll go and we'll look at the other options, but I will not be reading it all over again. We will speed run this, and I can chit chat a little bit. But we're going to exhaust all the options at the end here. Whew, tasty. That one was a little, now, well, that one did kind of just end right then and there. You know, yes, Kazuki didn't become a vegetable, and we don't know what happens, but I do kind of like the fact that they don't mention what happens. I mean, maybe when we complete all the endings and we might get to the true ending, we'll see how that goes. But I was kind of, impressed with the, I do like it when a story will just kind of leave things in the air. Not everything needs to be explained. So I actually would prefer it if we can get more of the endings, get the true ending, and that one ending is still just left unexplained, like what happens when souls move on. I would kind of like that to remain ambiguous. Okay, we've already done this. Okay, so like I said, we're speed running. We'll get to the options. Okay, so we're going to confront Reina again. We're going to go through all that. Okay. Yep. I'm terribly sorry about how much your life, admittedly, in Afterlife sucks, but, not much I can really do about that. Okay. Would be nice if, I know some visual novel style games have the option to skip through stuff you've already been through, but this game does not have that. Yeah, come on. So anyways, like I said, anything else interesting going on in anybody's life? Anybody reading anything interesting, whether it's literature, comics, or a visual novel, or anybody playing any cool games? Anybody looking forward to what I'm looking forward to, which is the beginning of NHL season. That's coming up pretty soon. Go Red Wings. Okay. See ya, Reina. Oh, you've been playing a lot of music? Now listening to music or actually playing music? Need to get back to reading, Dragon. What are you thinking about reading? I don't know if I can skip the cutscenes. Yeah, only one option there. No, it won't let me skip the cutscenes. Which, I guess is not, a bad thing, but... Tomboy enthusiast, you're a musician? I didn't know that. Am I just stupid? I've never just seen it before? Like, seen you mention it? Well, tell me what which instrument you play. All right, we're gonna go see Kazuki again. You play bagpipes? That is cool. That's not an instrument a lot of people play, or at least in America, it's not. Oh, you played harmonica too. I've got a harmonica set, and a um, I have a manual and a how-to DVD. I've just never cracked it open. Oh, there's such a cute picture. Yeah, Dragon makes a good point, Tomboy enthusiast. You wear a kilt while you're playing it. Skip, skip, skip. Yes. So here's the next question, Tomboy enthusiast. Are you a Scot? Or are you culturally appropriating that music and that cultural garb? Okay, so you have Scott. You are Scott. Okay, cool. Not like I have much to judge. I am a so I'm pretty much an ethnic mutt. However, I am mostly Slav. How Slavic am I? I watch Life of Boris videos for for inspiration for my cooking. Okay, come on. Oh. All right, here we come. Alrighty. We're going to go the selfish route here. Leave him and save yourself. And I shall resume reading now. Kazuki. I can't stay here. I know. You don't have to say anything. You can't stay here, and I can't leave.
Guess that only leaves one option then, huh? Don't worry about me. Now that you've said it, and it's in the open, I feel at peace. My choices led me to this, but that doesn't mean you deserve to suffer. Besides, you've got your whole life ahead of you. So many adventures left to have. I can accept that. Kazuki, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, Ayami, you've got nothing to be sorry about. Not after everything I put you through. Don't apologize for saving yourself. It's not that. You're wrong. I do have to apologize. If not for this, then for before. When you were going after Reina, I didn't take you seriously. I thought you'd gone crazy chasing after some orphan girl. It wasn't like you at all, so I ignored it. In a way, it's my fault you ended up here in the first place. If I'd noticed the signs that you were in trouble and helped you, maybe we could have helped her too. Damn it. I'm really useless, aren't I? Ayami, you don't honestly believe that, do you? I meant what I said before. We chose each other for a reason. Because you understand me better than I thought anyone ever could. Why are you bringing this up now? You always understood what made me tick. You made me better by never accepting the easy answer. I didn't tell you what I'd found because I knew you'd follow me, and I dragged you down with me. So I let me be useful to you for once, and let you off the hook. Maybe it'd be easier to stay here with me, but you're not about the easy answer. Never was good at leaving you alone. That's true. Ever regret it? Choosing me, I mean. Nope. You? Only had my doubts when you forgot to buy the coffee. What? I had to keep you on your toes somehow. It's strange, isn't it? Talking so normally in a place like this. Ugh! My head! Ugh. I can't stay down here much longer. I know. Look at us. We can't do anything right, can we? Nope. Business as usual for us. Always running headfirst into things even when we didn't know how it'd turn out. It's a wonder we ever got anything done at all. What will happen to you? Doesn't matter. That night in the sewer, I was never the same after that. With you coming through the door, it's first I felt like the old me in a long time. This could never be anything other than a goodbye, as much as I don't want it to be. Ugh. We'll see each other again? One way or another. At least I found you. I'm glad I got to see you. I can't promise I won't stop searching for this place, for what it all means. Guess I should have expected that from the great Ayami Ito. Promise me you'll make a life when you get out of here. Be happy. I'll try. You have to go. I know. Just let me stay a little longer. Okay. I love you. I love you too. Through all the dark times I had, you were always my light, my rock. When you disappeared, I was worried I'd never get to tell you that. Kazuki, it's time for me to go. Until next time. Wherever you end up, you'll wait for me, right? You know it. Thank you for everything, Ayami. Goodbye. I stood glued to the ground in that impossible place for a long time, taking in Tanaka's face one last time. Once I turned around, I never looked back, ignoring my every instinct. Tanaka remained silent. The man I met beyond the door was a shade, a distant memory of a man I once loved, but who was taken from me in the sewers under Shinjuku. Leaving was the only way to honor him, and to try to make something new on top of the foundation of the life we'd built together. As I emerged from the door, I gasped as if air had returned to my lungs after being submerged. Trudging towards the surface, I heard quiet sobbing in the hollow spaces, echoing off the walls. As they continued, the shadows lost definition, turning into shapeless, inky blackness. Finally, I reached the surface, but I was never the same after that day. Little pieces of my past began to slip away. My childhood, memories of my parents, my time in the police. Will I forget him, too? Some nights I wake up in a cold sweat, feeling terrified that something is coming, and don't know why. Several months after I returned, Mai and her grandmother were found dead, stabbed to death in the shrine they tended. They never found a suspect. So going this route, no matter what you do, they end up getting killed. I eventually cast the mask into the sea near Kamakura, and despite the warnings I received, it never returned to me. I can still feel it occasionally, scratching at the back of my mind like a needle. Even when I feel my own foundations beginning to give way, I carry on to keep the promises I made him. I'll keep trying. For Kazuki. Also, those are both pretty quick endings there. Okay. So, we've exhausted all the options by doing that. So, now we'll confront Reina, but then we'll, I think the option was give her the mask. I forgot what the other option was. And then we'll exhaust those. Anyways, your dad's side's from Polska. Nice. Yep, I think I'm pretty much mostly Polish, but I mean, a lot of people from Eastern Europe, they're, as much as they get very, very proud of their culture in Eastern Europe, a lot of them are very, very much Slavic mutts. Much like me. Come here, puppy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey, come here. Oh, good girl. I'm just gonna pet the dog a little bit. Give her a little attention. Yeah, so that one was pretty sad, but not as just kind of it just kind of ending like that too. Left me wanting a little more to be desired. But nothing. But even these endings, they're nowhere near as abrupt as when you destroy the mask, and it's just like, yep, that's done. But then, like, it seems like the city of Tokyo just becomes a pretty much a big hellhole for the foreseeable future. So, you know, it doesn't really feel like, even though the mask is gone, it doesn't feel like things really get too much better.
Alrighty. Let's see what the entities have to say.
Interesting. Most interesting.
You're nothing but a crow feeding on the carrion that time leaves in its wake.
Forgive me for not being an impartial spectator of human suffering. The woman had her own desires. I only gave her a little push.
And what exactly did that push achieve?
Her desires led her after that man. For love or for the truth? Perhaps out of some sense of obligation? Alas, a piece of her was left behind in the dark in exchange for her continued existence on this earth. Is it not interesting what the drive to survive brings us?
In the tale of Izanagi, he was told not to look back as he left the underworld, for once one does, all that awaits them is the knowledge of death. A human mistake, an inevitable one.
Fitting, don't you think?
And the world continues to tear itself apart. Time is not a single thread, but a complex tapestry pushed and formed into a picture by the forces of fate and chance. The different threads present a myriad of truths, but are all an aspect of some visage nonetheless.
A myriad. Interesting, interesting. I would have thought one so interested in history would adhere to a single truth.
On the contrary, if history has taught me anything, it is that there is no one truth. The deeper one gazes, the more complex it becomes.
Yes, all are truth, all grant insight into the same puzzle. You're right, my old friend. Time is a spiral. Observe it long enough, and we may yet learn something.
No, she is not your plaything.
It is not your decision.
There is only one way this can end. Only one way for the world to remain intact and stop the thing that's coming. It must be protected. The role must be performed.
Stubborn, so stubborn. Allow me to ask you a question.
I believe I know it already. You've asked it before.
Indulge me. I asked her the same thing. If the dancing puppet looks up and sees its strings, does it remain a puppet? What of fate and chance then?
I answer your riddle with one of my own. You see the storm clouds approaching, and although you can't take shelter or alter your course, does the storm not come regardless?
No fun. You've never tolerated my Forgive me, my tongue twisted. Pah, no fun. You've never tolerated my philosophical side.
Nor you me when I tell you how things are.
I suppose it's because we are one and the same. But what of her?
All we can do is watch, but eventually she will end up there. There is only one path which will hold the world together. Alrighty. Sweet. I am kind of curious though what this event is that they keep hinting at. All right. Alrighty, let's go. Alrighty, and then once again we'll be going through. Okay, so we exhausted all three of the options there. When we go to find Kazuki, so now what we will do is we'll confront Reina, and we shall excuse me. We shall confront Reina, and we will end up forgiving her. Let's see
where that leads us. Forgive me, I keep having the hiccups. Okay, yep. Alrighty. Forget and confront Reyna. Yep. Yeah, we know. Does the chat have anything to say? Nope. That's all fine and dandy. I'll need to, if I ever do a game like this again, what I'll need to do is I'll need to figure out how to fill these empty spaces a bit while I'm live streaming. So forgive me if it gets a little boring during these parts. Oh, okay. Okay. So, we are going to forgive Reyna and lead her to the door. So, because of that, I will be reading what happens because we have not gone this path before. Let's see how this goes. Please, don't hurt me. When I did it to Tanaka, it was the only way. You get it, right? Right? No, you're wrong. But then again, maybe there isn't a right way to begin with. In your own way, you're the same as me, grasping at whatever you could. He might still be down here, just like you said. Would the Tanaka I find be the real him, though? If I used the mask, would I be the real me? I'm not so sure anymore. You're really not gonna go after him? No. I'd have to give up even more of myself, succumb even more to this darkness. He wouldn't have wanted that. You know, for a long time, your face was all I saw. Ever since Kamakura. It motivated me to push through me to push through my sadness because I thought I was doing something good. Putting my problems behind me by becoming the hero and slaying some ancient evil. You became a demon, a symbol of all my hatred, of everything bad that happened to me that day. No, I'm not a demon. No, you're not. You're just a girl. Always were. Besides, I'm no hero. I'm not even sure if there is such a thing. I realize that now. Me, you, Tanaka, all three of us were just paper dolls caught up in a storm, being blown about by winds that were far out of our control. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for any of it to happen. I just wanted a way out. I just wanted to be normal. Tanaka was one of the smartest detectives. No, one of the smartest people I knew. I think he knew what would happen to him. Maybe that's why he was so distant. I wish things had played out differently for us. And for you. Reyna, I know what happened to you. All of it. I don't know how I saw all those things, but I can't just ignore them. No one deserves to experience what you did, Reyna. Every day you lived in hell, with no love or light. It was awful. We failed you. I'm sorry. I forgive you, Raina. I mean, good on you for being able to forgive somebody who killed your boyfriend. Like, holy shit, I do not think I would be able to do that if somebody had done that to somebody I love. If anything, it would probably be my John Wick breaking moment. It hurts to stay it. It's selfish, isn't it? I can't forget the pain you caused me, no matter how hard I try. But I do forgive you, because somewhere along the way, this horrible cycle has to end. I don't want to hurt people anymore. Then come with me. Let me help you. Why? Where are we going? To the door. You said you heard your mom, right? Let's go see her. Ooh. This will be interesting. Okay. I am very curious how this goes. Okay. I'm scared. What if she isn't there? What if I was wrong? It's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. You can rest like you always wanted. No more coming back. No more hurting people. Though I can't tell you what's waiting for you, I know it's better than this. I promise. Hey, Ami, do you think it'll hurt? No. How do you know? I don't know how, but the dark responds to the feelings of the people in it. Every time we butted heads, it pushed me out. It feels different now. It feels peaceful. What I'm trying to say is, I don't want to hurt you, Reyna. I only want to help. And I think the dark will too. Okay, I'm ready. Thank you, Ayami. I don't know why you helped me, but thank you. Okay. What's about to go down? For years, Reyna searched for the door. The whole time, it was nearby, hidden by a thick darkness that shifted in reaction to her own hatred and fear. The mask began to tug at me as if guiding us. Come here, hey, come here. Sorry. Dog keeps whining. The mask began to tug at me as if guiding us, and as we went together, hand in hand, it appeared in front of us. I wasn't sure how I hadn't noticed it before. It was like it had always been there. Until that moment, I never realized how small and truly fragile she was. Standing in front of the door, she shook like a leaf. Squeezing her hand, I reassured her, told her that I forgave her, knowing that if she took a step forward, it would all be over and she'd find peace. I thought maybe I would too. For a long time, she stood saying nothing, and then eventually she let go of my hand and moved through the door. As soon as she did, her image began to fade. She was smiling. Not the unhinged smile from my past, but her true smile. The smile of a little girl. It's that smile, free of hate and malice, I remember now. The dark remained even after she left, though it began to change as I remained within it, suddenly agitated and expansive, like it was growing. Somehow I knew that little light I saw was because of Reyna, her fear and hatred seeping out of the shadows. Thanks to that light, I was able to find the surface. The mask didn't quiet down after Reyna's passing, and every day it became more restless. One day, I cast it into the sea near Kamakura, and despite the Kawana woman's warning, it never returned to me, though occasionally I can still feel it, scratching like a pin needle at the back of my skull. When the girl faded, other memories did too. Impressions of a man called Kazuki Tanaka and a love we once shared. I find pictures in my apartment that I know are him, yet all I see is the face of a stranger looking. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that. Oh, that's brutal. Shit. So, in order for Reyna to have peace in this way, we have to sacrifice more than just not seeing Kazuki again. Now you lose the... Wow. Oof. That stings. Some nights, I wake up with tears in my eyes. Oh, God. He's gone. Some nights, I wake up with tears in my eyes and the images of that face crying out to me from some dark corner of my dreams, and I desperately try and remember why that memory remains. Yet something about those pictures and staying in that apartment feels familiar, even if I can't make sense of it some days. All I remember for sure is Reyna's smile, knowing that in those final moments she forgave me for what I did to her. Finally, I was able to feel peace. Well, damn. So, yeah, in order for her to get her happy ending, we gotta have a really depressing one. Shit. Oh, boy. Okay, well, there's another ending. And that was from confronting Reyna and forgiving her. So now, when we get down to the sewer, we are going to become the mask bearer, where I'm sure that is going to have shit hitting the fan, but in a bit of a more action way. I'm sure that things will be pretty interesting in that route. Okay, so what is chat thinking here? Nothing new. Okay. So, I do suppose I'll bring it up a little bit at the end, but actually now is a good time since we're looking at these credits again. Let me ask. Now, after we exhaust all these options, I will walk away from this game for a little bit and go to a new game, and I will mix it with continuing my playthrough of Bloodborne here and there. In the somewhere down the road, I will return to Pathologic 2 and finish that. But I do want to start a new kind of game. Now, I have a few different games that I want to play. Though I do want to ask, do we want another visual novel style game or try something a little different? Let me know what you think. And whatever you pick, just remember, part of it will go part of it will go back and forth with me continuing Bloodborne. Okay. Anyways. Interesting. Most interesting. You're nothing but a crow, feeding on the carrion that time leaves in its wake. Huh. Forgive me for not being an impartial specter of human suffering. The woman had her own desires. I only gave her a little push. I thought you'd be happy, Edo found forgiveness through the context of her suffering by drowning herself in the past. A historian's dream.
A gesture of extraordinary kindness, yes, but history does not smile at the happiness of one. It favors the welfare of all. Time is not a single thread, but a complex tapestry, pushed and formed into a picture by the forces of fate and chance. The different threads present a myriad of truths, but all are an aspect of the same visage nonetheless.
A myriad. Interesting. I would have thought one so interested in history would adhere to a single truth.
1 second, I gotta take a sip. Okay, that wasn't a sip. I just gulped all the rest of it. Forgive me. On the contrary, if history has taught me anything, it is that there is no one truth. The deeper one gazes, the more complex it becomes.
Yes, all are truth. All gain insight into the same puzzle. You're right, my old friend. Time is a spiral. Observe it long enough, and we may yet learn something.
No, she is not your plaything.
It is not your decision.
There is only one way that it can end. Only one way for the world to remain intact and stop the thing that's coming. It must be protected. The role must be performed.
Stubborn, so stubborn. Allow me to ask you a question.
I believe I know it already. You've asked it before.
Indulge me. I asked her the same thing. If the dancing puppet looks up and sees its strings, does it remain a puppet? What of fate and chance then?
I answer your riddle with one of my own. You see the storm clouds approaching, and although you take shelter or alter your course, does the storm not come regardless?
Ha! No fun. You've never tolerated my philosophical side.
Nor you me when I tell you how things are.
I suppose that's because we are one and the same. But what of her?
All we can do is watch, but eventually she will end up there. There is only one path for which will hold the world together. Alrighty, now let's become the mask bearer. And I'm thinking shit's gonna hit the fan. Let's see if I'm right. Okay. Save Kazuki. We did pull him out that one time. The last stream, we saved Kazuki and he became a vegetable until we got caught in the never-ending loop when his mentality did come back. So it was a bit of a bittersweet ending. They were trapped in that moment, but they could be together in that moment forever. Cult of the Lamb. Oh, well, I have games that I want to stream. I'm just asking, do we want, when I do continue to stream in the future, are we okay with doing another visual novel style game, or do we want to try something a little different? And I'll mix, and then, to reiterate, I will mix it up with Bloodborne so that we have got a little more of an action-oriented game in between. Oh. Different? Okay. That was Dragon's opinion. Mr. Tomboy Enthusiast, since you are also here, would you prefer something different? Or would you like me to do another visual novel style game? I will look at that in a bit to see your answer, but for now, we'll be doing reading moving forward from here because we're about to go into a completely different timeline here. Okay, I'm ready for some wicked shit to start. Become the mask bearer. Raina, I need you to listen to me.
You? I thought I got rid of you. You should be dead.
You can't get rid of me. No matter what we do, we'll keep fighting each other endlessly until one of us breaks. Then somehow we'll do it all over again. We're caught in a web, with every path leading back to the center, to the same place. We can't escape it.
Well, what are you talking about? I feel strange. Why can't you leave me alone?
Because I wasn't meant to. Don't worry. If I'm right, it'll be over soon. I promise.
Huh? Why? You're gonna try and get revenge? Well, it won't work down here. Too bad for you, Ayami-chan.
Petty things like revenge don't matter anymore. Maybe if I didn't know how my story ended, it would. But Reina, even you must realize that this place, the door, the mask, it's all beyond you. Beyond any of us. Didn't you ever ask yourself what it all meant?
Huh? What do you mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's all pointless. Like me.
God damn it. Every time that Reina, I'm like, oh no, that doesn't excuse anything. It's like, she says something where it's like, oh shit. So this is what's going on in her head. Ugh. Doesn't forget the thing, doesn't excuse the things you did, but, when people say, like, they're useless and such, just try to find that aspect or element of them that you think is admirable and let them know about that. Sorry, just it's home a little bit to certain things I've seen and experienced. Anyways,
Mommy said I was special, but she was wrong. I did so many terrible things, and it was my fault. So now I'm being punished for it.
That's not true. You're just a girl who got caught up in something bigger than her. Like me. Guess that makes us kindred spirits in a weird way.
You're not like me. You don't know what I've been through.
You're wrong. I know what happened to you. All of it. I can't deny our lives took different paths. I can't pretend to understand how you felt. But I do know what happened to you wasn't your fault. None of it.
Something is different. You've changed. Why aren't you mad about Tanaka?
I am. I'm mad as hell that he died the way he did. I loved him and he deserved better. But there's nothing I can do. It already happened. There's nothing we could have done to change it. No matter what I do differently, no matter how I try to make things play out, that's how it has to happen.
What are you gonna do to me?
Do to you? I'm going to give you what you want. What I want? That's right. You want the mask back, right? And you want to end all of this. I can give you that by helping you find the door. The door. Why, I heard Mommy's voice. Oh, shoot. That's... Man, I wish I could go back, but I can't. Sorry I skipped that line.
Okay. Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing. Come on. Don't be afraid. Carefully,
I placed... Sorry. Distracted by my dog. Anyways. Carefully, I placed the mask over Reina's face again and allowed her to briefly see the dark the way she was meant to see it. Her whole body shook as she walked, as if wearing the mask had brought back the little girl who was abandoned in the forest at the base of Mount Fuji. Eventually, we found the door. Her fear seemed to melt away, and she stood very still in front of the door for a long time. As she walked through it, I thought I heard her whisper the words, "I'm sorry. I can't be sure." Slowly, her physical body faded, and her feelings of anguish that permeated and shaped the dark began to fade as well. The dark began to change, slowly, as if it had been released and was waking from a long slumber. As it awoke, I could feel it expanding, sending probing fingers into the city streets above. After a time, the mask, now unbound, reappeared. It had come back to me. I didn't have much time to do what I had come for.
Whoa, what's gonna happen? Oh, come on, give me something good.
Left unchecked, the dark and whatever is in it will spill over into our world and destroy the lives of the unassuming people above. I can't help but think of my own normal life, a life that I'll never have a chance to see for myself. Still, I can't let other people suffer in the same way I suffered, or the way Reina suffered. They deserve a chance at a future, right? There's no one else who can do this for them. It has to be me. I wish I knew why, but maybe it's not important. If only everyone knew what was lurking in shadows under the surface, the world hitting at the edges of their vision. Would they change willingly if they did? If the kami, or whatever they are, want humankind to change or to perish, are people capable of becoming anything better than the selfish, flawed creatures they are? Is this worth it? There's only one way to find out. In my mind, I can see it perfectly. The symbol that Chikako Shichijo used to bind herself to the mask, forged in blood. I must do the same. It hurts. Searing my skin like a brand, calling out for a life to seal my blood for the souls trapped in the mask. Death is the only sufficient payment. I may not have control over my final destination, but I can choose how I get there. I won't sacrifice innocent lives to the mask like those who came before me. There's only one option left to me. What remains of Kazuki Tanaka pulses like a heartbeat from the other side of the door, getting weaker and weaker by the moment. A living memory, her consciousness reflects off me like a mirror. I won't leave him there to suffer in purgatory. I'll release him. In doing so, I'll give the mask what it requires. At least part of the mask, he will be whole again. I'll say goodbye to you, Kazuki, and I'll be able to say goodbye to Yami Ito.
Oh, okay. So we got to wear the mask here again. Let's see what this leads. Okay. Okay, so we do go back to the door this way too. What's going to be different? Okay, this looks the same as the other path. I'm wondering if there'll be subtle changes though, because we performed that little bit of ritual. Because we performed a little bit of a ritual that, we carved ourselves before walking into here. So I'm wondering what is going to change by doing that. Okay. I'm going to skip this because I think that this is what we've already read. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we've seen this. Let me, if I notice anything that's different, I will read it and then continue reading it. But until I see something new or different, I'm going to skip it as if we had already been through here. Oh, okay. Yep, we got new stuff here. Yep. Okay. Raina didn't bring you here? But your hand, there's blood on your glove. It doesn't matter. I came here on my own. I feel strange, Ayami. I know. You've been waiting for a long time, haven't you? Yes. I remember hearing your voice. Well, we're a team after all. Partners to the end. Ayami, I can't remember clearly. I have to know what happened that night in the sewer. Why were you there? You got yourself mixed up in something that you shouldn't have. And I showed up ready to save you. But I failed. You died that night, Kazuki. No, that can't be. Oh, okay, so we're already seeing something new here. He didn't deny that. He kind of acted like he knew that he died that night in the other path. So, okay, we do have enough that's different, so I will continue reading from here. Okay. That's how it is. I know that you felt like you were pulled apart, waiting for me. I'm sorry for letting you suffer like this. Ayami, what are you saying? Kazuki, I missed you. I spent so much time chasing you, thinking there was some land over the rainbow where I could get you back. But you've been gone for a long time. I know it's confusing for you, but you know it too, don't you?
remember after Reina took me to the sewers, it was like I was split in two. Only parts of me came here. The others, I'm not sure. Just listen to me for a sec, alright? My whole life, people thought I was strange, or thought I wanted more than I was entitled to have. But without hesitating, you always accepted me for who I was. I'm so grateful for the time we had together. I love you. No matter what happens or what I become, I want you to remember that. I know that, Ayami. Why are you telling me all this? Because I don't think there'll be another chance. Because once I do what I came here to do, I don't think I'll be on the other side. What are you talking about? I've come to free you. Can't you see? You're only a fragment of yourself. Every moment you spend here, a little more of you is lost. Ayami, I guess part of me knew this would happen. As I wandered down here alone, I knew it wouldn't last. We had our happiness, Ayami. Even if it was for a little while, we found a deeper connection than most people do in a lifetime. This isn't how I wanted our story to end, but if it has to end this way, I'd rather it be with you. Ayami, I don't want to be like this anymore. Everything I know about myself is slipping away. I know. I love you, Ayami. I'm ready. I'm sorry. Don't be. We'll see each other again someday. I hope so. Ayami? The mask. I can hear the mask. Why? I'm sorry, Kazuki. It's the only way to make you whole. Ayami? What have you done? We had our chance at happiness. This is the only way to give mankind a chance at theirs. Someday, I'll give you your peace, I swear.
Jesus Christ! Wow!
Wow! As Kazuki slumps to the ground, I can feel the warmth of his blood on my skin. Slowly he begins to fade away, and as he does, the whispers of the mask grow quiet. The blood goes cold. The mask has a new master. The dark is now mine to control, to stop from drawing in the poor, ignorant people above. This is my charge, to stand vigil and give humanity a chance, whether it deserves it or not. No matter what, I will be here, waiting, trying to forget the life I had in exchange for the lives I can save.
Oh, that was kick-ass. I like that. It was sad that she did that to Kazuki. I
would like to. I would. It. There was no option there, but I am kind of curious what could have happened if she didn't kill him there. You know, like how would the other paths play out when you don't become the mask bearer? In that instance, that would have been interesting to see. But so we've exhausted all the options by going that route. Let's. This will be. I'm very curious to see what the entities have to say after Ayami becomes the mask bearer. Oh my god! But yeah, that was kick ass. That sad, but I am very much looking forward to the end credit. I mean, the ending of these credits here, and then I also, when we do return to this, I am very curious to see what else we can do, because I'm pretty confident we've only gotten through bare minimum a quarter, at most half of the possible endings here. Because there's other stuff that we did throughout the game that we could have done differently. And when we do return to playing this game, we will start it from the beginning so that we can go to all those choices. Oh, that was awesome. Japanese storytelling has always been top notch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here we go. In the darkness float thousands of tiny white lights, remnants of those who were once human. As I stand here alone, I watch them pass like fireflies. Sometimes I hear rumblings and murmurs from the world above. Fragments of life I once had led. Hate and madness burn inside of them. And I can feel the presence behind me expanding, threatening to break free. As the mask bearer, I must stay vigilant. If I fail, the thing in the darkness will happily devour them all. What's in the darkness? Ooh. This vigil is my duty, the purpose of my existence. I know. I know that. And yet, among all the voices, there's a darkness weighing down my thoughts, dragging me further away from who I am. I'm still human, right? I must be. But a human that doesn't age or die. Sometimes I wonder if it would have been easier to accept a different reality. Chikako and Reina didn't, and it tore them apart. But now, they're free. I envy them. I sometimes think of what it would be like to join them, but that's impossible. How could I bear it? Every day that passes, I lose a few more memories. My friends, my parents, my feelings for Kazuki, all slipping away piece by piece. Without them, what am I? I released those precious moments into the door, thinking I was strong, but I want to rest. I want to escape this place. Why was I chosen in the first place? I'm just a girl from Tokyo. Why was it me? There's nothing special about me. I've thought of this before. How many times have I had the same thought, I wonder? How long have I been here? What's that? I can hear a voice calling to me. Ayami. My name. My old name. Ayami, are you there? Kazuki? It can't be. It's not possible. He's already beyond my reach. I know that. I sent him there myself. Can you hear me? No. Kazuki? Kazuki! How long has it been since I experienced these feelings? Feelings that were human, natural. All it took was a single word. My name. I hadn't heard it in so long. It brings me back. Is that a tear I feel on my cheek? I feel numb, as if it weren't my own. What do I say? Kazuki? Can that really be you? Ayami. Slowly, the light begins to focus. I can see his face blurred as if recalled from memory. The figure in front of me isn't Kazuki. Not his flesh and blood, anyway. But isn't the shade of him I encountered back then either. Ayami. I shouldn't be here. So much time has passed. Countless whispers of a million enraged and bitter souls that I had learned to ignore return to my ears. All those feelings which meant nothing to me are in sharp focus now. Tears again? I feel them now, not as remote or distant as before. A voice much more familiar to me creaks from my throat, begging him to take me away from here. I remember her, Ayami Ito, a girl who was forced into this existence. She wants out. I want out too. Kazuki, please, take me away. I wish I could say those 3 words, but I can't. Entering that door means abandoning the mask and the duty assigned to it. Following Kazuki means abandoning the world. Our world. That world filled with love and loss, stupidity and greed. The world Kazuki and I once shared. For all its flaws, it's still worth saving. Without it, we'd be nothing. Our past would be meaningless. Kazuki Tanaka, how did you get here? I found a way. To see you, I can only come once a year, though. It's not much, I know. Nothing left in my body, just this. Whatever this is. But it's you. The real you. Yeah. It's me, Ayami. At least I think it is. As soon as I could, I wanted to take you with me to the other side. But I already knew I couldn't. You of all people would understand. That's right. It doesn't matter how you were chosen. It's that... It's you that has to stay here. You're only the one who can. All those voices. Can't you hear them? Sometimes I listen to them. Their voices. I don't hear anyone worth saving. That doesn't sound like the Ayami I know. In that moment, I am her. Ayami. I can remember all the restless nights and fun times we'd shared. But it's like looking through a window, watching a movie of someone's life that is a familiar, but not my own. Why only once a year? Why can't you stay? I'm sorry. The only day this is possible is the day we met. That spring day under the tree. For a little while, we sit together, watching the lights float by, souls making their way through the darkness. They look like cherry blossoms, don't they? Petals falling through the moonlight. You're quite the poet. Not exactly the straight-talking Ayami I knew. Well, it's been so long. This is a chance to say all those mushy things I could never bring myself to say. We look at each other and laugh. Us, 2 people who were never meant to be together. who are constantly told all the reasons it'd never work. The very same reasons that drove us together. Kazuki, I know you don't want to hear it, but hearing your voice and seeing your smile again, it gives me strength. It's a reminder of what I'm here for. With your help, maybe I can stay a little longer. Ayami. Kazuki. Calling to each other endlessly. One day a year. Our date. Ah, how generous. But oh, to change the laws of nature? That is unexpected. Unlike you.
It was what she needed. Surely it pleases you. Lovers reunited under the memories of cherry blossoms.
Maybe, perhaps you're right. Yes. It could do some good. After all, it was loneliness that broke the first bearer's mind. Necessary upkeep for the mask's bearer's soul. Maintenance for her mind.
Maintenance, you say? Typical. You claim to understand them and then describe them as mere machines, nothing more than chess pieces. Though it seems you have a soft spot for our dear detective.
Why do you so incessantly try to drag me to your side? I care for them, their pitiful, short-lived existences, but I am not one of them. Neither are you.
The mask bearer isn't the one of them either. It's a great burden. We should consider ourselves lucky if this is the end in store for her. I suppose even you could see the beauty in it if you tried.
Beauty? I grow tired of your choice of words these days. Is it beautiful because it's useful? Because it suits your purpose? No. Maintenance will do.
And yet it was you who recreated his image so masterfully. I wonder, perhaps you have learned a thing or two of human emotion after your countless years of study? Created his image. Are they doing this just to keep Ayami in this position? That is on a lot of levels of fucked up. If this is like the carrot to dangle in front of her to keep her as the mask bearer and keep the universe in the status quo. Holy shit.
A useful visual aid for the mask bearer's continued allegiance to her
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Holy shit. If you say so. All right. And that there is the ending of Tokyo Dark by becoming the mask bearer. Now, there are other choices that we have to do, but that would require an entirely new playthrough, and we are not going to do that for a little while. We shall return to this game some point in the future. And let's see here. Writers are John Williams and Chris Krubeck. Okay. Okay. So, for my next game, I will do something a little different. But before we get to that game, and different from a visual novel style game, I mean. Before we get to that, though, I will do a Bloodborne stream, continue where I left off a little over a year ago. And we shall
do that, and then I shall begin a new game, and I'll keep that one a little bit of a surprise. So, I want to thank everybody for watching this episode. And so, yeah, in terms of the endings of Tokyo Dark so far, some of them are a little abrupt and leave a little more to be desired. But for the most part, I am very intrigued. I want to learn a little more about the existence of these, like the two other entities. And I'm also curious, by making other choices, what that will mean for the ending of, like, the end game, essentially. So I'm kind of curious about that. And then there's other aspects that I wonder, like, there's certain things that you can do that I wonder that could possibly end the game right then and there. Like, I wonder if you could take so many pills at once that might lead to Ayami killing herself. And I'm kind of curious what that would entail. And then there's other options here and there that once I return to them, I would like to explore that and figure out what could be going on there. But yeah, so far though, I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. I like the horror aspect of it. I like the thriller and the mystery aspect. The art style is pretty kick-ass. I really like the art. And like I already went over the genres that are conveyed here, and I really do like the way that they execute everything. I like the story and the characters so far, but I can't give my entire thoughts on it until we're able to finally complete the game. But just for the sake of changing things up here and there, we will put a pause on the Tokyo Dark playthrough for now. So, thanks for everybody who stopped by the stream today. I'm hoping that you have a fun weekend, and I sincerely hope that you'll check out when I start streaming again. I don't want to promise tomorrow, but maybe we'll start tomorrow with a Bloodborne stream. But if not, then most certainly at the end of next week or next weekend, we will begin again. So, I hope that you guys are staying happy. I hope that your lives are peaceful. And I will see you next time. Take care.